Well, it was a great story tonight for Spencer Martin. Was it a great game for your team, Bruce?
Well, I mean, I would have to classify it as a really good effort. They played um, very close, as close as you can get to the way we wanted to draw it up. And boy, you play a really great team, and you're missing a lot of your better players, but everybody stepped up to the plate. Some of the guys played more minutes, I'm sure, than they've ever played at the NHL level before, and they played good. So it was I classify it as when you lose, but when you get a point out of something like that, that's a really good point.
And you had to work a long time as a coach to get your NHL chance as a coach. He's had to work a long time to get another chance as an NHL goalie. Do you appreciate the journey that he's been on to get this opportunity?
Absolutely. I mean, I love when American League players that have played there for a while get opportunities and show what they can do, because a lot of times there's a lot of good players that they get overlooked because of their age or for whatever reason, and they're really good players. And so for Spencer to come in and play a game like that against I think they're the highest scoring team in the league, I thought it was really impressive.
Next up is Patrick Johnston, Post Media.
First, I got to imagine that given how your team played defensively, not a lot of chances for the Panthers. That was just about exactly what you were hoping for from them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we bottled them up pretty good, especially the first two periods. And I mean, we sagged a little bit in the third, and sometimes that happens when they pushed in their team with a lot of wins, and we were defending more than trying to score, I think, which, you don't want to happen, but it does happen. And but overall, I thought we played as well as we could play under the circumstances.
Lammikko, Highmore, and OEL got stuck out there for about 3 minutes, I think, in overtime. How did they look in the dressing room afterwards? Are they able to stand up?
I'm sure that they were pretty tired. I didn't really focus on looking at them, but I mean, that's they kept them to the outside that whole time, and they went through 3 changes, and that's really smart defensive hockey. So I mean, they just didn't have the energy to get any recoveries on any loose pucks, and that's unfortunate. But they did what they had to do to preserve them not from scoring.
We'll take a couple more here. We'll start with Farhan Lalji, TSN.
Bruce, just to follow up that question about that shift, when you've got Highmore and Lammikko that are out there, players that probably aren't used to that role, and you've also got some young guys that might be a little more dynamic. Take me through that decision. Is it just more a case of trust in terms of knowing what you've got with veteran players?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was on overtime. You look for speed, and those guys that shut down Barkov's line probably played against them almost every shift tonight. And I just thought, okay, if we could get through that shift on the usual 40 seconds and then come out with Petey and whoever, then we would have been had a chance on the offense. But and that's what also the reason I had Mott and Highmore out there, maybe the 2 fastest skaters we had. So if they did get an opportunity, they could have beaten the guys down the ice. But I mean, a lot of guys, when you're missing Horvat, and whether it's and Miller and Garland and some of your offensive players, I mean, some of the guys that never get a chance to play in overtime were getting a chance today.
You also talked in the morning about how you expected Petey and his line to play a lot more, and I think he was at around the 20-minute mark with about 5 minutes to go in regulation. Probably plays more if it's not for that 3-minute shift in overtime, and also Hughes logged heavy minutes against a pretty good offensive team. Just what'd you think of how they handled a much bigger workload tonight?
Well, I mean, we'll start with Hughes, and I thought, like almost every game, he's outstanding. I mean, his outlet passes, and when he gets the puck, you can't check him. I mean, he's too wiry or whatever the thing is. So I thought he was great, and he controlled the puck back there when he was on the ice. Petey had some great chances, some great looks. He looked like he was feeling it. It just didn't happen. He made some plays to players that didn't score, but again, I think he was 22-35, if I look correctly, out there, and it's a lot of ice time for him. So, he's just over this last few games, he's gotten better and better and better. So hopefully he can continue that upward swing.
Next up is Gemma Karsten-Smith, Canadian Press.
Hi, Coach. What does a result like this, under the circumstances where you are missing five key guys, what does this kind of result do for your team as a whole?
Well, I hope it gives them belief that when they play the right way, and we did play the right way tonight, that you can play with anybody. And that's pretty well what the message is. I mean, we played a hungry team tonight that were determined, coming off a 6-0 win in Edmonton. They were determined to win this game because I'm sure they're thinking, okay, our road record isn't as good as our home record, and they just beat us a week ago, and they played really hard, and we just stymied them at every corner, I thought. And in the first and second period, I'm pretty sure we outchanced them, and we could have built the lead up, but we just didn't. So that being said, I mean, we played well. They got championship caliber players in their team, and they came through at the end.
And can you talk about what the atmosphere was like in the building tonight? Obviously, only half capacity, but you're back home.
Yeah, I think the people in Vancouver were just as happy to see us play as we were to be home here. It's tough when you play 9 straight games on the road, but we're very appreciative of what the fans, the amount of cheering they did, and everything else, and can only imagine if we win consistently and they start putting 18,000 people in this building, what it's going to sound like.